Hi, Scorpio. Some sage and some rose petals to cleanse the space. 3 chimes to bring in positive energy. This is a general reading for the sign of Scorpio. If you have Scorpio anywhere in your birth chart, this is your reading. It is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest. You know what is for you and what is not for you. Thank you, Spirit. Messages for the sign of Scorpio. What would you like Scorpio to know or to be aware of during this reading? Thank you, Spirit. Messages for the sign of Scorpio. Scorpio, if this is your first time tuning in, a little bit about the layout of this reading. When we look at this first row, when we look at this top row, we will be looking at your work life, your professional life, your public life, and the energy that is surrounding you there. The second row will be your private life, your personal life, your home life, and the energy that is surrounding you there. The third row, the final row, will be final thoughts, final messages, final takeaway for this reading. And this final row, we never really know what is going to show up there. Thank you, Spirit. Messages for the sign of Scorpio. Scorpio, a little bit about how I perform these readings. Obviously, we use tarot. We use planetary placement, sun, moon placement, in trying to hone in and trying to get to the core, the basis of this reading. And I use intuition as well. And so sometimes my intuition does not match with what the cards have or are on the table. And if and when that happens, I really do go with intuition. You may want to tune into one of my live readings and see if we're able to connect intuitively there. And then that way, anytime during the reading, if you were to have a question, you could write that in the comment box, and hopefully I would be able to answer that. And Scorpio, the foundation, the basis of your reading this week is the 5 of Pentacles. A perceived missed opportunity. Feeling like maybe the doors have been closed. There's a challenge being presented to you. And that is forced, or that is backed by the King of Cups. Mastering our feelings, mastering our emotions. No man is an island unto himself. There's some isolation that is going on here, and because of that isolation, there's a perceived missed opportunity, or there's a perception that we're missing out. But that missing out is being caused by isolation. And let's see how that plays into the rest of your reading this week, Scorpio. We start off with the Lover's card. And in the business section, or your professional or your public life, this really does talk about partnerships, working relationships, bosses, co-workers, but people that you work with. And I like that we have the 4 of Wands here. And this 4 of Wands, I'm just let me just tilt these just a little bit so they're not so cockeyed there. There we go. And so we have the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is about new beginnings, fresh starts, breaking free from the past. Breaking free from the past. Many times when I see this card, I'll call this my get out of jail free card. Wow, you have some very positive cards here in your public life. And we have the Star card, and you are the star of your own life. But in this Star card, if we look closer, we can see that she is practicing the giving and the take, the balance, the perfect balance of taking from the emotional, taking from the spiritual, and bringing to the physical. And the Page of Wands, ready to move forward, ready for the next step. There is a being ready to follow our dreams. There is a dream, there is a goal, there's something that you're passionate about, there's something that you are desiring, or something that you are wanting to achieve. But you haven't taken that step, you haven't been motivated to do that, or something is holding you back. Something is holding you back. Isolation is holding you back from following your passions, from following your desires, from taking action on achieving what it is that you would like to achieve. But you have all these positive cards here for you, Scorpio. All of these wonderful positive cards. Look at that. The energy is right. The energy is ripe for you to achieve, for you to reach your goals. It's only requiring that we do not isolate, that we reach out, that we let others in, that we follow our passion, we follow our instincts. You have very deep, meaningful, and powerful instincts. But it's new to you, it's fresh to you, and you're having a bit of a pause before moving forward. There's a bit of a pause before moving forward. Perhaps this pause is from a past experience, or maybe a past experience that you have seen others go through. But remember that each situation is different. Even though they may be similar, each situation is different, and every person's perspective on a situation is different. Again, it's situational. Others may view this situation, others may view this situation as a challenge. And because other people are viewing this situation as a challenge, it's causing you pause, because it's something new, something fresh. But for other people, this is a challenge. But for you, it is an opportunity. Source is asking that you take the initiative and demonstrate your leadership abilities, your quick thinking. The real challenge here for you, Scorpio, is how to handle the resistance that you're receiving from those that are surrounding you. And so you cannot isolate. You need to face this resistance head on. You need to face this challenge head on. And because you are the one that is capable and is willing and is able to face this challenge head on, that is where the success is going to come from. The again, the challenge here is to use diplomacy and to use determination to win the crowd. And after you've won the crowd, after you've demonstrated that you're up to the task, the money will come. The money will come. And in your private life, in your personal life, we start off with the Knight of Pentacles. A gift, a pause. It's almost like the quiet before the storm, the calm before the storm. The Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is looking at the quiet before the storm. Isolation. You've been in a period of isolation. You're in a period of calm. The Ace of Pentacles, which is gifts, something that you can touch, something that is tangible. A gift, the energy of a gift. And this is a big gift. This is a major gift. And the Ten of Pentacles, that is wonderful, positive energy. The Ten of Pentacles, many tarot readers, when we see this card, we immediately say legacy wealth. But think about legacy wealth. Legacy wealth is about bringing together the physical and the non-physical. It's about bringing together the tangible, the unseen, and the seen. Bringing that together. You have been in a period or a time of isolation. The energy is changing. The energy is shifting. Source, Spirit, God is bringing in the energy of bringing together the seen and the unseen. And there's a gift in stepping out of our comfort zone. There's a gift in stepping out of that isolation. And there's a gift in broadening our social circle. And I'm not surprised to see this. It's almost like this transition, the pause, the isolation, and the gifts. Many times before Source, before the universe brings in a gift, it will present us with a challenge. You've been processing that challenge. You've been using that challenge to isolate. You've been using that challenge to self-reflect and to grow. But now is the time to put an end to any isolation that you have had and let the universe bring in those gifts. And again, I'm not surprised to see these cards set up like this in your private life. Scorpio, your ruling planet is Mars, and it's in Taurus. And since your ruling planet is in Taurus, is putting emphasis on the need for partnerships, or the need for having a collaborator. The time for isolation, the time for doing things alone is coming to an end. The energy is one of partnerships, of co-collaboration. This doesn't necessarily mean finding a life partner. It doesn't necessarily mean having a husband and a wife, although if having a long-term relationship, having a life partner, having a husband or a wife is something that you would like to have, most definitely. But it could also include creating a bond, creating a working relationship with a lifelong friend, creating a deeper, more meaningful, a more active relationship with a sibling, with a family member, but creating a deeper bond, a co-collaboration with someone in your private life, someone in your personal life. For example, maybe you've been wanting or searching to make a change in your career, a change in your public life. And you've been sitting on that. You've been isolating about that. You've been trying to do that. You've been trying to go that alone. Now is the time to let those closest to you in on your plans, in on your hopes, in on your dreams, in search for that co-collaborator. And by opening up and by letting other people in on, for example, a job search, or even a purchase of a new home or a new location. By letting those in, by not trying to do that alone, you will find that in turn, by opening up and sharing, that this person or these people will help you bring in that opportunity, will help you manifest what it is that you've been looking for. Like, for example, they'll recommend you to an employer. They'll speak highly of you, and they'll help you get your foot in the door. Or if you're looking for a loan, if you're looking for financing, they'll refer you to the correct financial institution, and they may even help you sign or co-sign for a loan. But we cannot do it together, or we cannot do it alone. It is time for collaborations. It's time for coming together. The final thoughts, final messages. The Five of Wands. The interesting thing about the Five of Wands, 5 in numerology, or 5 in the tarot, can represent chaos, can represent conflict. And when we look closer at this 5 of Wands, we do see that conflict. But if we look even closer, it's the practice. It's the actions, but not the feelings, not the emotions. It's the practicing, the preparing, the getting ready. And that again is followed by the 5 of Swords. I like to call this 5 of the 5 of Swords, the stormy weather card. And so there's been a period of chaos, of stormy weather, of conflict, a conflict between passions and desires, and a conflict between other people's perspectives, other people's words. There's been a conflict, but there is a change, and that is, oh, thank you, Spirit. The Knight of Cups, taking a pause, being very guarded of our emotions. And the Hierophant. This, I love how this is coming together for you, Scorpio. Again, so we have the Five of Pentacles, the 555. Is the other 5 here? 5. Let's go back to that numerology. So 5. Let's see if we can see another 5. 5 is really in tarot about motion, adventure, travel, expansion, and unpredictability. And many times when things are unpredictable, we pause. Unpredictability causes us to pause. The wonderful thing about this pause that you have been taking is that it ends with the Hierophant, which is higher learning, higher knowledge. This higher learning, this higher knowledge comes from introspection. Your time of introspection is coming to an end. And now that you've learned all of these wonderful things about yourself, or you're learning all of these wonderful things about yourself and your strengths and even your weaknesses, when we know and we understand what our weaknesses are, we can compensate for those weaknesses. And many times we compensate for those weaknesses with a co-collaborator. There is a light in our subconscious longing to be brought into our daily lives. And enlightenment is an experience, not an idea. Meditation can help us connect with that inner light. And when we connect with that inner light, we change the physical world around us. And that is the message that I have for the sign of Scorpio. Thank you, Scorpio. You have a blessed week.